6 is 2:07 p.m. Council Abbott, have you had a chance to look at the minutes from the last meeting?
Yes, I move approval of the minutes of the last meeting.
Second, all in favor say aye. Aye. The meetings from the May 2nd meeting have passed. Next, we will go on to the agenda. Item 1, right-of-way use agreement. Ms. Katrina Thomas, is she here?
Actually, Mr. Al Jackson.
Mr. Al Jackson. Come on, Mr. Al.
This must be a really important one.
That's what serious. Katrina was.
Oh, sorry.
Mr. Jackson, can you read this item number 1?
This is a right-of-way use agreement between the City of Birmingham and Deverway Park Association, under which Deverway Park Association will install a sanitary sewer force main in city right-of-way located in the vicinity of 2400 Deverway Way and 2473 Balco Road, also known as Amber Hills Access Road, to serve the Queenstown Industrial Park South Second Sector subdivision. The Derby Park Association is developing that property, and at the present time, they don't have sanitary sewer access, so they're going to have to install the sanitary sewer in this location to serve the proposed businesses at various locations throughout the office park.
Council Abbott, do you have any questions?
So this is just a new development and they don't have anything? Or do they have everything except sanitary sewer?
Well, they own the land, they're here.
Yeah, yes, come on.
Yes, ma'am. I'm Joey Miller with MTTR Engineers, representing the owners. And this property is east of 459, near where the racetrack is. You got it. And just off the map is the interchange.
I can see it right
You
here.
got one.
Yeah, I can show you.
Okay, all right.
We can see.
Sorry. Just east of the map, and just west of where we are to the left-hand side, is the interchange with Derby Parkway and 459. These properties, some of them have their own sewage system, on-site sewer. There's no public sewer available on the east side of the interstate. And some of them, the soil conditions are such they really won't support an on-site sewer. They own property south of where the interchange comes off at Derby Parkway. And what they'd like to do is install 2 bores so they can pump across the City of Birmingham right-of-ways to their system. It'll be a private system. It'll be managed by a company that does that kind of work under the auspices of the Public Service Commission. But it's similar to an on-site septic system, except it's a much larger system. It's an engineered system that's been approved by Jefferson County Health Department. They'll also approve the installation. But this is, for us to be able to get to it, we'll have to have a force main that comes down a private easement along the east side of Balco and Amber Hills right away, but then we'll have to cross to get to where they own property south of there. And so that's why we're here today, is we have to have a right-of-way use agreement to be able to bore, which means we're going to put a casing below the existing utilities and tunnel under the road, and we won't cut any pavement, but that way if we ever have to do any work on it, we can just pull the sewer out of the casing, because it'll be like a steel casing, and then the sewer will sit inside it. So that's the idea behind all that. But anyway, that's what we're here for. I'll be glad to answer any questions y'all have.
I think you've answered all the questions I didn't even know I had.
You explained it very well. Yes, very well. Thank you. Okay.
You can tell I may have done this a minute or so.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Okay.
Jim Stanners also, he worked on, I put everything together, Jim Stanners finished the agreement, it might be something he wants.
Mr. Stanley, is there anything?
I'll be glad to answer your questions about the agreement. It's a right-of-way use agreement, recognizing it's, while it looks to be a permanent improvement, it is in the right-of-way, so we don't grant a property interest, it's a license.
No.
But it's a long-term expectation that we'll be there, and Mr. Jackson worked out the calculation of the payments.
Okay. Thank you. Councilor, do you have any questions?
And so they pay us $100 once a year.
There's an initial upfront payment that reflects the city's administrative cost, and the $100 is a standard payment we use for private investors.
They pay a lump sum fee up front, $2,000,
$960.
yes. Lump sum fee at the time of installation, then $100 annually afterwards.
Okay. I move approval.
Second, all in favor say aye. Aye. That item passes. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Next item number 2, right-of-way license agreement. Mr. Jackson.
Right-of-way license agreement for the installation of monitoring wells between the city of Birmingham and Free Incorporated regarding the proposed installation of 5 monitoring wells for the purpose of determining the possibility of contaminant fuel releases in and around the Highland Fuel Shop, located 2125 Highland Avenue South. The monitoring wells will assist in determining the groundwater quality and evaluating water conditions. The monitoring wells will encroach into and upon the surface right-of-way of Highland Avenue South. The monitoring wells are something that's required by Environmental Services, Alabama Department of Environmental Management, and whenever you have a service station, then they want to ensure that the quality of the water is such so it can be used for another purpose, and this is something that's required by state law.
Yes, Councilor.
This is the first one of these I've ever seen in my whole time at City Hall. So
Really?
is this place a problem?
No,
I know it's been closed a long time.
no, it's not a problem. It's not the first one of this type. They don't come up that frequently, but there are at least 6 or 7 of them around the city of Birmingham.
So is it because someone suspects that there might be a problem there?
No, this is just routine. Whenever you have a service station, they decide that they want to use it for something other than a service station, then they have to ensure it protects the public, and for health concerns, they have to install the monitoring levels.
Oh, so it's not going to be a service station anymore?
No,
Okay.
but before it can be used for anything other than a service
I
station.
got you now. I thought it was going to still be a service station, and I was thinking, well, it's been closed for a while, but that answers my question. Thank you, Madam Chairman.
Because I am interested, how does this come about if we only have 6 or 7 around the city?
Whenever some land is being used for a service station and they close, don't do the type of bidding that they thought they were going to do, and they have to vacate the premises, then it's required by state law to protect the environment for contaminants.
Okay. And so if that becomes another business, then this will help out to ensure.
Well, it can't become another business until this is done to make sure that the water quality is what it should be.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
I do have another question.
Yes, Councilor.
Do they have to remove the fuel tanks if it's going to be used for something else?
Either that or encase them in concrete.
Interesting.
Mr. Jackson, I can
Yeah, so, yeah, come on now.
answer a few questions. I'm sorry.
You can state your name and
Yes.
your company.
I'm Matt Harris, and I'm with PRE Incorporated.
Yeah.
Oh, you're fine. So, yes, this site, you're right, was Zubla's gas station, and it has been closed for quite a while. Your question referring to the tanks being removed, yes, once the station is closed, they do remove the tanks. And then, once that process has begun removing the tanks, they will install monitoring wells around to check the quality of the groundwater to make sure that no contaminants have been released. PRE has already placed a number of wells on the property itself, and then the next step by the state is just to set up an outside perimeter which goes into the right of way across the street, and that would be the extent of as far as we could go, because we're not allowed to encroach on anyone else's property, just the right of way across the street.
Okay.
So that's what we're looking to do.
So, I'm just curious, what's going to be there now?
So we are we're contracted through the state just to do the environmental work.
Okay, so you're not involved.
Yes, we're not involved with what they're going to do.
Guess we'll just have to watch.
Right,
Okay, well, thank you.
you're welcome. I do know that the owner of the property is the red brick building directly adjacent to it. They had mentioned just turning it into parking for that business. Because, street parking, all that is. They
The
talk about
parking
making a parking lot
Mhm.
for themselves, but again, it'll have to wait till all of this gets resolved.
Good, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
I move approval.
Second, all in favor say aye. Aye. Item number 2 passes. Thank you, Mr. Jackson. Item number 3, a request for review of property, Mr. Michael Glover.
Hello,
Hello.
my name is Michael Glover. I serve as Chief Foundation Coordinator. A request for the Public Improvement Committee to review property that has 0 boarded repair permits, 2612 Inslee Avenue on May 9, 2023 for Tima Jackson at 1509 19th Place Southwest, Birmingham, Alabama 35211. Submitted an application for a special repair permit. This property was condemned by City Council on January 5th, 2021.
Okay, is the applicant here?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am, come on up. Hello. Can you state your name and your address?
Yes, Fatima Jackson, 1511 19th Place Southwest, Birmingham, 321.
Okay, and you're getting a special repair permit for 2612 Inslee Avenue, correct? Okay. I guess what are your plans for it, like the timeline? You got that?
Well, I'm still in the process of gathering information. I
Yeah.
just got the letter about this meeting last week, but I had already reached out to a couple contractors. I'm waiting to get estimates back, and that's about it. As far as the funding to get the work done, I have funds like in equity in my property.
Gotcha.
But I also have a divorce pending, so, all of that is up in the air, so I just need more time.
Gotcha. Is this a property your husband owns, or is this?
It's my father's property.
Okay, then you're fine. Okay. You know how it is pending a divorce, yeah.
You got your work cut out for you.
It's your father's house?
Looks like vandals might have gone through it.
How long has it been unoccupied?
He passed away in 2015, so we've not really been doing anything with the property. I had some medical things going on like in 2022,
Yeah.
2022, so, and I'm really the oldest child in the city, so I'm trying to get things rolling.
Gotcha. Okay.
Just out of curiosity, how much do you think you're going to have to put into this house to stop it from looking like that? I see a tree fell on it. And
Yeah.
the toilet is in the bathtub, and everything's been ripped off the walls, and it looks like major medical to me.
Yeah, I have a contractor friend who is gonna help me, get it up to code. And then I wanna be able to look for funding or be able to get a loan to do whatever big repairs that need to be done.
Big house. Well, she's willing to go for it.
And it's a gas property too.
Yeah. Well, I move approval.
Second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
The item passes. Good luck. Next, we're on to new business. Keep Birmingham Beautiful. You're good. Thank you. Sade, Ms. Thomas. You know, I'm excited about this one. Did y'all see us anything else other than this? Was this the only thing?
There was an outline in the email.
Did y'all like this?
Good afternoon. My name is Katrina Thomas, and I serve as Director of the Department of Planning, Engineering, and Permits. And I'm Sade Hammond, and I also serve in the Department of Planning, Engineering, and Permits as the Keep Birmingham Beautiful Director. So we are excited about today. We know that this committee has been wanting more information about the Keep Birmingham Beautiful program and the commission and where we are and next steps. So we did send an email to you just outlining some of the next steps as it relates to reestablishing the Keep Birmingham Beautiful board. What we put in the email was an attachment that included just the original code that's in the municipal city code as it stands today. And so some of the amendments and revisions that we are proposing will include possibly changing some of the composition of the members so that we can have a better chance of getting a quorum for those meetings. It currently has 25 members, and we're wanting to look at possibly reducing that maybe to 15. That's not set in stone yet, but also just making some additional minor changes. This program was previously in the Department of Public Works and is now housed within the Department of Planning, Engineering, and Permits under our stormwater program, because that program already has some environmental stewardship components as it relates to our stormwater, and making sure that that's a connection between our litter free initiatives. So with Keep Birmingham Beautiful, a lot of the goals that you all may be aware of course, we do a lot of the cleanups, but also just ending littering, improving recycling, beautification, waste reduction, environmental education, and just overall increasing sustainability awareness. And so with that, we know, Councilor Abbott, you have asked about the signs. And so our goal is to do a full condition and location assessment of those signs. It's our understanding that it's about 350 signs that's out there. And so our goal is to map where they are and create some criteria for whether or not they should remain. And so when the board is established, the awards bank will become a part of that recognition program. But in the interim, we will conduct an assessment of where those signs are and do some analysis to get those removed that should be removed. And hopefully there are some that are out there that are still need to remain, and that's awesome, because we do want to be able to promote beautification throughout the city. We know that residents really enjoy being a part of that composition, that camaraderie to keep their yards clean, and so we're excited about that as well. As it relates to the ordinance itself, we will need to bring that back before you with those revisions. We'll route that through our Office of the City Attorney, and then we can start recruiting members to become a part of the board, and then they can implement the various goals that we discussed. And those goals will include a wide range of programs that overall are related to just ending littering, keeping the city clean, and just educating our residents on how they can be a part of sustainability and recycling. And part of that as well will include updating the environmental guide that was out previously. We want to be able to provide an update to that so that residents can understand how they can become a part of this program and the initiatives that come with Keep Birmingham Beautiful. So that's all we have for now, and then we'll look forward to coming back before you with the actual ordinance changes before you, which will be very minor. So that's why we attached the original ordinance, because the only thing that will change in that ordinance is really changing the department that is housed in, changing the composition and the number of members, and also just operationally aligning where the executive coordinator is planning and where she will be housed within the Department of Planning, Engineering, and Permits.
So what, I see there are different categories for the members, like you want the business community. Where are you eliminating members from? The business and industry one, or?
Yeah, so originally there were, so business and industry, we were, that we're proposing for that to go from 9 to 5. Community organizations for that to go from 6 to 3. Education to go from 3 to 2, and members at large instead of 4, bring that down to 2. So it'll be a total of 15 members.
Okay. And for business and industry, is this like small business owners, or like what was it in the past?
Yes, they were small business owners and large corporations as well. We previously had Alabama Power, Coca-Cola, ASIPCO, Nucor Steel, industries like that at the table. But we can be open to allowing small businesses to be a part of that as well, or a representative of a small business.
Yeah.
But it's open. So
Well,
this-
no, because sometimes some companies, I'm not saying they're anti-environmental, but, you know, we want people on there who are, you know what I'm saying, yeah.
Yes.
We'll have to choose carefully.
Yeah,
Actually, the mayor will be choosing
yeah,
carefully.
well, yeah, the mayor, well, we trust him, he does really good appointments. And if we can have some young people on there, I think that'll be good too.
Yes, absolutely.
Because
Well,
you
you
remember a
know,
lot.
I didn't find out that KBDC was gone until I called about a derelict sign, and they said, "Oh, we don't have a KBDC anymore." I said, "Well, where did it go?" So I'm glad to know that you're back. And the signs are an issue because some of them are in places where the people no longer have a nice facility, and then a lot of the signs are just rusted through and look horrible. So maybe we could come up with a new design that's easier to maintain, or that would hold up better, or something. Because I looked at it and thought, well, I could paint it, but I'd have to get it down first, you know, and so it you know, they're on those big standards, and it's not something that volunteers, I don't think, could help with unless they were professional sign painters. Anyway, but I am happy that we're going to, you know, get in there and find them. Number one, I guess we know where they are. We just don't pay any attention to them. But that's really good because people laugh at us. You know, they say, you know, your signs look like heck, and that's keeping Birmingham beautiful. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not a good look. But I am very happy that you're going to revive it, and I wanted to find out, since I've had the ordinance for the tree commission and the legal department ever since I've been on the council. That's 21 years, and it still hasn't come out yet. So is the tree commission going to be in planning, engineering, and permits also?
We're evaluating.
I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense because trees, planting new trees is part of planning. You know, planting and planting. But we do need to revive ourselves because our tree stock is going down. And it's part of keeping Birmingham beautiful too, so we can just get everything fixed at once, maybe.
Yeah.
So
Hopefully
the
we'll
planting and
soon. Thank
preservation
you.
of trees will be a part of this program as well. Not sure to the extent of the entire tree ordinance, but we will certainly evaluate that.
Well, we have a tree ordinance and it requires us to have a tree commission, but we haven't had a tree commission for ages. But we also can't get the revisions to the ordinance moving. We have had 4 different attorneys, but we haven't produced anything yet. I mean, anything usable. So, I'll be interested to see what happens. But I'm enthusiastic about this and I will move approval if it is the appropriate moment in time.
Well, it's just informational purposes only. I guess you may not know now. I would love to see this up and going like next spring. Is that realistic? Maybe. Okay. Okay. I was just letting you know. Sometimes we'll ask. I'll be like 2 years from now. Okay. I'm excited. Like we're here.
I thought you were going to say next month.
I thought you were going to say
Yeah.
Oh, I'm more realistic. No. Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. We look
Yes.
forward to hearing from
Yes.
y'all soon. Yeah.
Thank you. And the cleanups are always happening, so that's always been a part of KUB's mission. So they can speak to the cleanups, and I know you all typically do that as well, but.
We're here. If you need us, just call us and we'll provide all supplies and resources that we can provide to make sure that we keep our districts and neighborhoods clean and beautiful.
I just thought of some 2 things. If we could make sure a lot of the information is translated to Spanish.
Okay. Yes, we're doing that.
And I think it would be good if we have a Hispanic community liaison on the board too. Yeah, because that may be a lot easier, especially since that population is growing. So, yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
I have another question.
Oh, okay. So,
As far as the cleanups go, will y'all, I know you have the physical resources, the bags and the grabbers and, stuff like that, but you also have for neighborhoods that maybe have a lot of senior citizens and they can't get but like 5 or 6 people out to do a cleanup. Do y'all have resources of groups that you can recommend to them to contact to sort of beef up the numbers of people helping?
There are partnerships that we utilize, United Hands On, we use Black Warrior Riverkeeper, Village Creek Society. So we do have organizations that come in, and even we've had the business industry to reach out and say, hey, we want to do a cleanup. So yes, we can definitely provide those resources as needed.
That's good because we do have some neighborhoods where everybody's getting, mellow. And, there are just not as many volunteers, People's knees hurt and their back hurts.
yeah.
I can relate to that, so.
Yeah, I know. We talked about this. KBB has a program already nationally where small businesses can get involved. It's something about encouraging people. It was something. I'm gonna have to
Keep America Beautiful, yes.
Yeah, it was a part of that, encouraging small businesses to help people out to be more environmentally friendly and getting them to adopt blocks and things. So
Correct, and we're working on that. We're
yeah,
doing
I'm excited about that.
Yes.
I think that matters. Yeah.
Yes, we have that coming, so.
I think adopt a block, will be interesting because when I was in college, we had one ourselves, our honors college. We had our cute little sign and we would clean up every month, and we had a lot of volunteers, but we really embraced it as college students. So I know it works. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
The next PIC meeting will be in August because the first Tuesday is the 4th of July. So is there a motion to adjourn?
I know that we adjourned.
Second. Thank you, everyone.
All in favor, say aye. Yeah.